士们、先生们，2023中国杯世界花样滑冰大奖赛开幕仪式现在开始。
Ladies and gentlemen, Cup of China ISU Grand Prix Figure Skating 2023 Opening Ceremony.
首先，为您介绍出席开幕仪式的领导及来宾，他们是。
Now, we would like to introduce the dignitaries and guests.
中国花样滑冰协会主席申雪女士。
ISU Representative Council Member Ms. Susanna Racamo.
重庆市政府副市长戴彦征先生。重庆市政府办公厅副主任郑清宇先生。重庆市体育局局长丁红先生。重庆市体育局副局长一级巡视员张新先生。重庆市体育局副局长石强珍先生。重庆市体育局二级巡视员张晓军先生。中共巴南区委书记何永生先生。中共巴南区委副书记、区政府区长贾辉先生。巴南区人大常委会主任刘永全先生。巴南区政协主席何永德先生。中共巴南区委常委、区政府党组成员朱基阳先生。
女士们、先生们，请起立，奏唱中华人民共和国国歌。
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of People's Republic of China.
请就坐。
Please be seated.
下面有请中国花样滑冰协会主席申雪女士致辞。
Now, please welcome President of Chinese Figure Skating Association, Ms. Shen Shui, to deliver a speech.
值此2023中国杯世界花样滑冰大奖赛开赛之际，我非常荣幸地代表赛事组委会和中国花样滑冰协会，对参赛的各位花样滑冰的运动员、教练员、裁判员以及关注中国杯并支持中国花样滑冰事业的各位朋友们、广大冰迷朋友们的到来，表示衷心的感谢和热烈的欢迎。北京冬奥会、冬残奥会的成功申办举办，为中国冰雪事业注入了强劲的动力。借助中国冰雪运动发展的优势契机，中国花样滑冰协会不断加强与国际滑联和各成员国的交流合作，丰富冰雪运动的赛事供给，扩大冰雪项目发展的内需，拉动冰雪产业经济的提质升级，在更广泛的范围内牢固和扩大带动3亿人参与冰雪运动的成果，让冰雪运动的发展丰硕的成果更好地汇聚广大人民群众，更多地为国家经济社会发展作出贡献。中国杯世界花样滑冰大奖赛是由国际滑冰联盟主办的国际 A 级赛事，从2003年来到中国，已经成功举办17次，其中有2次是在重庆举办。热情如火的山城重庆，在11月广迎来自全国世界各国的花样滑冰健儿，希望他们的精彩表演为这座活力之城再添锦绣。期望世界花样滑冰大奖赛落户中国20周年，绽放出新的光彩。非常感谢为此次赛事付出宝贵时间和精力的工作人员、媒体朋友们和志愿者们，感谢一直以来支持和关注、支持花样滑冰的冰迷朋友们，是你们帮助中国花样滑冰事业不断前行。在此，预祝2023年中国杯世界花样滑冰大奖赛取得圆满成功，预祝所有的参赛选手发挥出最佳的水平。谢谢大家。
有请中共巴南区委书记何永生先生致辞。
Now, please welcome Party Secretary of Beinan District Committee, of the Communist Party of China, Mr. Yu Shenghe, to deliver a speech.
尊敬的研制。和120万巴南人民，向各位运动员、教练员、裁判员，向国际滑联、中国花滑协会的领导和嘉宾表示热烈的欢迎，向全体工作人员和广大媒体朋友表示衷心的感谢。你们的到来，为这座美丽的南方城市增添了冰雪运动的风采和活力。重庆市巴南区是重庆中心城区面积最大的行政区，历史悠久，生态环境优美，产业基础雄厚。近年来，巴南区全面落实习近平总书记对重庆的殷殷嘱托，认真贯彻重庆市委、市政府的工作要求，以成渝地区双城经济圈建设为总抓手、总牵引，正朝着建设社会主义现代化新巴南的目标，推动高质量发展，创造高品质生活，实现高效能治理。今年是中国杯世界花样滑冰大奖赛连续第3次在巴南举办，进一步加深了巴南与世界的交流，为巴南加快建设体育强区、发展冰雪运动注入了活力。巴南区将竭诚为参赛运动员、教练员和各位来宾提供最优质的服务，携手为世界献上一场精彩非凡的冰上盛宴。作为一座热情好客的城市，巴南区诚挚邀请全球的冰雪爱好者走进巴南，品味巴南，畅享巴南，走进富有巴南特色的古镇、温泉、八县老院子、美丽乡村，近距离领略巴南作为千年历史名医的厚重，感受来自中国温泉之乡的温情，体会国民旅游休闲胜地的惬意。火辣重庆遇上了冰雪盛会，让我们尽情享受这欢快的冰与火之歌，共同见证比赛的每一个精彩瞬间，一起欢呼和喝彩。预祝大赛取得圆满成功，祝参赛运动员享受比赛，达成所愿，祝所有嘉宾在美丽重庆巴南留下美好回忆。谢谢大家。
有请国际滑联代表苏珊娜·拉赫卡莫女士致辞。
Now please welcome ISU Representative, Council Member, Mrs. Susanna Rakomo, to deliver a speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ISU Figure Skating Grand Prix in Chongqing, China. It is with immense pleasure and honor that I extend my warmest greetings to you on behalf of the ISU, the International Skating Union. ISU thanks the Chinese Figure Skating Association, the organizing committee, and many volunteers who have worked hard in making this event success. Chongqing, a city renowned for rich cultural heritage and modern dynamism, provides an exquisite backdrop for this event. This event celebrates the global love for figure skating, where athletes showcases their artistry and dedication. Athletes, you are the embodied of excellence. We can't wait to see your brilliance on the ice. The officials, your commitment ensures a fair competition. Coaches, your guidance is commendable. All the team members and supporting staff, your valuable work is recognized. And fans, your passion drives the sport. Let's cherish our global figure skating community and enjoy our shared love for skating. Thank you, and let the skating magic begin.
有请重庆市政府副市长但彦征先生宣布2023中国杯世界花样滑冰大奖赛开幕。
Now, please welcome Deputy Mayor of Chongqing Municipal People's Government, Mr. Yanjing Dan, to announce the opening.
我荣幸地宣布，中2023中国杯世界花样滑冰大奖赛开赛。
女士们、先生们，2023中国杯世界花样滑冰大奖赛开幕仪式到此结束。
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the opening ceremony.
直面这残忍的世界，风不懂得谁的心血，流连却来不及道别。如果结局今生惨烈，无惧在逆风中破茧，就算那羽翼被撕裂，重回到时这层深渊。牵你手，往前走，黑夜白昼不停留，辗转时空会挫伤，会心痛，依然奋勇去战斗。再叫英雄，抬头，端一张挥手，挥手，你在我左右，击溃命运的诅咒，让故事不朽，不会再
协会官方饮用水。
What's up, everybody？ 现场的各位观众朋友们，你们好吗 ？Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chongqing. Here is the Cup of China ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating 2023. 欢迎各位来到美丽的重庆华西文体中心，这里是中国杯世界花样滑冰大奖赛的比赛现场。时隔3年，终于再一次相聚在了美丽的山城重庆。相信现场的观众朋友们一定和我一样，怀着非常激动的心情，
You see the city lights? They tell you anything is possible.
Welcome to the Huaxi Culture and Sports Center in the city of Chongqing in China. Huge city, roughly the size of Austria, the Yangtze River, with a permanent population of over 30 million people. And this, the fourth largest city by urban population in China, is now home to some of the world's best figure skaters on the fourth stop of the International Skating Union's Grand Prix series. As we head to the second half of the Grand Prix series, we can look forward to finding more slots for the competitors at the Grand Prix final, which takes place in China again next month between the 7th and 10th of December in Beijing. And many of the skaters competing this weekend will be eyeing spots for one of the 6 coveted places at that prestigious event. Skaters competing at the Cup of China in 2023, acknowledging what an incredible arena this is. Multi-purpose sports centre. And already just earlier today we saw a fantastic opening ceremony with a wonderful presentation by the local skaters. And then a speech by Zhen Shui, president of the Chinese Figure Skating Association, who herself was the 2010 Olympic champion with her now husband Hong Bo-zhao. And great to see this celebration of skating in China. China will be the host nation for so many events on this season. Returning to China in Beijing for the Grand Prix final, as I said. And then the 4 Continent Championships, one of the ISU Championship events, will take place in Shanghai at the end of January. And there are the flags of so many of the International Skating Union skating nations, all of which will be represented at the Cup of China this year. There we see the ice surface, which has to be of optimal quality for this standard of event. We'll start with the ice dance, rhythm dance, then to the women, then the men's event, and finally concluding in Chongqing with the pairs competition, which will be the last event to take place on this first day of competition. You can see the amazing LED structure and the incredible facility. Shortly ago we were treated to seeing scenes backstage where the skaters are warming up in anticipation for their performances, as we see the start order for this rhythm dance. And there, just 4 teams will compete in the second group. That because of a late withdrawal from the Taschler team, brother and sister pair, who unfortunately have had to withdraw due to a back injury. And we wish them all the very best in recovery. And that's the reason just 9 teams will compete, in addition to 9 judges who are on your screen now, the officials for this event. And they're the technical panel as well. Judy Blumberg, a former American national champion on the tech specialist team. Big countdown to our first sight on the skaters competing at the Cup of China. And wonderful to see Shangxi and Nanwu ready to take to the ice, the first team who will compete. And having been introduced to the arena, the first 4 dance teams start their 5-minute warm-up before their 1980s rhythm dance. That the music and stylization they must pick. The rhythm dance this year must have the feeling and essence of the 1980s. And all of the teams on the ice had practice in the main rink at 9 o'clock this morning, and then returned presumably to the official hotel located just 25 to 30 minutes from the venue. As we see Shangxi and Nanwu, first team to compete, and they like most of the skaters competing and representing the host nation, will have competed at domestic events to secure their participation. And the second team taking to the ice, Jizi Chan, Jianing Jing from China. Another team that will have competed at the domestic events. They were second in domestic events. There's an inter-club league in China where the skaters will vie to make the national team. And more recently, they will have competed at the Shanghai Trophy, another event that took place in China. China, the host nation for so many prestigious events this season on the International Skating Union's SEAT calendar series. And now to a team who teamed up in July of 2021. Emily Bratti and Ian Somerville. They will skate to music by Prince. They, like so many of the others, will have competed on the Challenger Series. They competed at the Lombardia Trophy in Bergamo, just off the podium there. So you see the second American team, Eva Pate and Logan Bai. A couple that are engaged to one another. Explained to me that they're excited to be in China, neither of them having been here before, and what a fantastic venue to compete in as well. They look really present and mindful in the moment of the occasion. As we see Eva and Logan, the two Chinese teams who will be vying not just to represent their nation and themselves well here, but also potentially for scores for ISU championship events. So as we head towards the latter stages of the season, the skaters will be eager to secure the minimum technical element scores required to compete at the likes of the 4 Continent Championships or the World Championships, which will take place in Montreal, Canada in March of 2024. Here we see the twizzles, the mandatory required elements to be performed within the senior rhythm dance. And this the choreographic rhythm sequence just being worked through by Emily and Ian. A choreographic element which will not achieve a level like the other elements in the rhythm dance, but instead the score for that will be down to the judges' grade of execution. For those new to the sport, that range for the grade of execution is between a -5 to a +5. The -5 likely to only happen when there's been a fall that's taken place, right up to a +5, which is something that we may see as we head towards the later stages of this competition with the likes of Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier, who have the highest score of the season so far. They will be the last team to compete. Nice to see a smile on the face of Shang-Chi, the 19-year-old that turns 20 later this month. So the 5-minute warm-up complete. And 3 teams leave the ice, ready for the first competitors at the Cup of China 2023, an event that hasn't taken place since 2020. A big moment for Shangxi and Nan Wu. And they will skate to the music Thriller and Dancing Machine. Opening with the sequential twizzles. Back outside rocker. And then we're within the pattern dance type step sequence at the second of the 5 elements. And a stationary lift using one of the most popular features and positions that we've seen on the circuit this season. A really strong performance for Shangxi and Nan Wu, the Chinese team, opening the rhythm dance at the Cup of China 2023. And the host nation can enter more skaters from the host country, and this an amazing opportunity for Shangxi and Nan Wu to skate alongside some of the very best ice dance teams in the world and soak up some more experience and some inspiration from those that will skate in the later stages of the event. And I think they should be very happy with the performance. Clean skate. They've only got one international event on their ISU biography. That was a participation at the Budapest Trophy. Yeah. Confirmation of the ice dancer's ability to express and emote. And we'll see as the event progresses towards the higher ranked skaters entering into this competition, increased expression, and particularly mindful of increased depth of edge, deeper edges, more speed, more ice coverage. But no mistakes made for Shangxi and Nan Wu. Now, the technical panel and the judges will give them an awareness of where they slot into the world rankings with the scores that will be posted from this competition. part of the choreographic rhythm sequence. Those that have been following the Grand Prix season already will know that steps from the silver samba must be performed. And I thought that Shang-Chi and Nanwu were creative and difficult in their choice of steps within that element, pushing themselves not to choose the easiest options as they await their score. So the Budapest Trophy, it was 56.14 for Shang and Nan. Here, of the elements, of the 5 elements, levels not optimal for the couple. A base level given to the midline step for Shang-Chi. As the event progresses, we'll look towards skaters more likely to attain a level 3 or level 4, and that comes with a bigger technical element score. So the tech score, I'm sure lower than they would have liked. As they achieve a 51.80. And despite that being lower than the Budapest Trophy, great to see that they are not despondent with that score, and we look forward to seeing them compete in the free dance again tomorrow.
Our next skaters represent People's Republic of China.
From one Chinese ice dance team to the next, as we look to Zizi Chen and Jianing Jing. And the performance has already started for Jianing as they skate to Kula and the gang. Really good match and very close to one another through the sequential twizzles.
How you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up on the wall. Tell me. How you gonna do it?
And this there choreographic rhythm sequence.
By standing on the wall. Get your back up on the wall. 'Cause I heard all the people saying, get down on it. Come on and get down on it. If you really want it, get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it.
The teams must showcase mandatory skid or stop before the pattern dance type step sequence. Each of the skaters perform 2 difficult turns. The back inside rocker for Zizi. Technical panel scrutinizing how cleanly those turns are performed to depict the level that they'll achieve. Well, like their compatriots, another clean skate for the Chinese ice dance team. This time of Zizi Chen and Jianing Jing, 2 21-year-olds. She turns 22 next Thursday. And a couple who have some experience internationally but didn't compete internationally in 2020 and in 2021, just the global pandemic. Just one event in 2022. So now, as they shake hands, a chance to see how they slot into the world rankings. They failed to qualify for the free dance at the World Championships in Saitama, Japan, just a few months ago. So they'll be eager to see their personal best scores improve and increase with the likelihood of achieving that coveted free dance participation happening, should they be assigned to the Chinese team for Worlds in Montreal. As we see what I thought were some very close twizzles, and that should be reflected in the judges' grade of execution. And a little wink from Zhang to the judges. And so the couples in the event, and in seniors this year and juniors, should demonstrate through dance the culture and feeling or essence of the decade. And so, as we look at the jump entry into the rotational lift, it's been interesting to hear the skaters' impressions of working with this 1980s rhythm this year, and the research and education they've had to do in what truly is the culture and essence of the decades. And how invested they are. Coach Zhang, he was an Olympian in ice dance in 2010 and 2014, and they're passing on his knowledge and experience to the new generation. So their personal best came at Worlds, 58.12, and they've added nearly 4 points to that. So second team out, and a first personal best to be achieved at the Cup of China.
Our next skaters represent the United States of America.
And now to the first of two teams representing the United States of America here in the ice dance event, Emily Bratty and Ian Somerville. And they said that this rhythm dance is inspired by Yuzuru Hanyu's Let's Go Crazy short program, which they both loved, When Doves Cry and Let's Go Crazy by Prince, for Emily Bratty and Ian Somerville. Emily and Ian open with the non-touch step sequence. And in the first element, we see a difference in the skating skills, more speed, more ice coverage, deeper edge set.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. So when you call up that shrink in Beverly Hills, you know the one, Dr.
Some unique movement choices within this rhythm dance. A unique choice of edge for the first twizzle. That was brilliant. Emily Bratty and Ian Somerville for the United States of America. As I mentioned, some unique choices of choreography. The split slide from Ian, the hydroglide partway through, and difficulty throughout the choreographic rhythm sequence as well. All built upon a foundation of increased speed, as I said, from the two Chinese teams that we've already seen. So the fundamental skating skills demonstrated in this rhythm dance will put the program component scores into a higher category. And it looks like the judges verging on 8s out of 10s for the component scores, as opposed to the 6s that we saw already for the two Chinese teams. And Coach Greg Zwerlin says, good job.
Thank you, Emily.
And great to hear the team acknowledging how they're inspired by two-time Olympic champion in the singles discipline, Yuzuru Hanyu. So often we hear the single skaters referencing ice dancers for stylistic influence. Great to see and hear them acknowledge, no, it was a single skater that so inspired them to choose this music for their rhythm dance. And no wonder, given what legendary work Yuzuru offered the skating community and continues to do so. And just based on what I can see from the technical panel, a level 3 assigned to the midline step for both skaters. That a strong tech score that will be incoming here. Like a choreographic hydroglide movement within a rhythm dance. Just pushing the composition score for the team, and they're pushing the presentation. Level 4 assigned to this, the rotational lift. That the same that will be given to, I'm sure, most if not all of the teams in the ice dance event at senior level. But they will be considering the grade of execution. So many of these ice dance teams at this standard of event will be hyper vigilant and conscious of the need to get more positive features for higher grades of execution. It's a job well done by Emily and Ian. 71.61 on the Challenger Series last year. Short of their personal best, but a season's best. Emily, I think, would have been hoping for an overall PB. Ian making positives from it. I suspect they'll be really keen to see how this will compare with their compatriots who are taking to the ice now. So 23-year-old Eva Pate and 25-year-old Logan Bai. I read that Eva started skating after a Girl Scout trip and now representing her nation in Chongqing in China. Again in their second assignment on the ISU's Grand Prix Series this year.
They say I'm crazy, I really don't care.
this the start of their choreo rhythm sequence. The team taking turns to use the steps from the silver samba. Unique pattern made by this team within that element, different to that which we've seen from others. Eva Pate and Logan Bai, and a sense of real joy from the team and their commitment to the performance, as is always the case in the ice dance competition, is intense. You sense that perhaps the performance here, buoyed by the fact that they were 6th at Skate Canada, wanted better, I'm sure, at that event. It was a closely fought competition between 3 teams from the United States of America 2 weeks ago in Vancouver, British Columbia. And although they must not have had long to return, if indeed they did return to their training base in Novi in Michigan before coming out to Chongqing, that experience seems to have fueled the performance at very least. And now their score here as a high five given to the floor girl. Pasquale Carmalengo, famed coach, one of the members of their coaching staff. Their score here, will it be higher than the 73.12 they achieved a couple of weeks ago in Vancouver? They'll be looking for a higher tech score. They had level 2s in their midline step for both skaters in Vancouver, and it's level 3 here. So that's an improvement of progress shown. Twizzles expected to be at level 4, but so much of this, as I said, with the other teams will be about the grade of execution, and the judges have clear criteria for the positive features to boost the grade of execution. Equally, any visible errors will deduct from that. No issues with a rotational lift achieving the level 4. Their GOE, their grade of execution for that element, achieves an extra 1.2. So that indication the judges are probably assigning +2s out of the maximum +5 that can be achieved. And it is that fine detail that the skaters and their teams will be so focused on. Right now though, it looks like Eva totally focused and having a good time. And that is a wonderful reaction to the couple that are fiancés to one another. Eva said that watching the 2014 Olympics inspired her to focus on skating rather than on gymnastics, and now totally invested and committed with Logan Bai. So that a point above, over a point above that which they achieved in Vancouver, and they are the leading American team, and all smiles in the kiss and cry area with Coach Pasquale. And that rounds out the first group. As I say, a late withdrawal from the Czech team, the Tashlers. The reason that there aren't 5 teams competing in that first warm-up group. But now we look ahead to the next group of 5 teams taking to the ice to be introduced to this incredible arena. And they are Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier. The winners in Vancouver will be the last team to compete.
Representing Canada, Ashley Lajoie and Zachary Laga. Representing the United States of America,
美国组合
Caroline Green and Michael Parsons. Representing Canada,
加拿大组合
Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier. Skaters, your 5-minute warm-up begins now.
运动员现在进行5分钟热身。
Confirmation of the start order. And world ranking dictates the start order for the first portion of the competition. As we look to Maria Kazakova and Jorge Revia. It's their training mates, the Tasters, who had that late withdrawal. Now here, only team from that training base at the Cup of China. They on an upward trajectory. 13th at Worlds, 8th at the European Championships in Finland in January. And they will skate to music by Queen, unsurprising based on the costumes. So we look now to Lucia Demongeau and Theo Lemercier, a couple that teamed up in 2015. They just one spot behind the Georgians who will go before them at the Worlds, but one spot ahead of them at the European Championships. So it will be a close battle between these two teams to see how they compare this season with this year's material and choreography. To the team that were second at Skate America, Marjorie Lajoie and Zachary Laga. They, as the ground announcer acknowledges, as former junior world champions, eager to push ever higher, close to senior world championship medals. One of the, I think the first team at this event from the Ice Academy of Montreal, which in itself is surprising given how many of the Grand Prix assignments so far have been dominated by teams from that training base. Their costume also strongly aligns to what they'll be skating to. Michael Jackson medley. And a completely different style of rhythm dance choice in this 1980s rhythm for Caroline Green and Michael Parsons. And this rhythm dance for Green and Parsons, their second rhythm dance this year. They scrapped the original rhythm dance that they used on the Challenger Series. Just felt like the feedback from that, from the judging panels, wasn't strong enough for them to continue moving up in the world rankings. And so, created a new piece as Greg Zwerlin offers water to Caroline ringside. And now to Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier, who were the winners in Vancouver, British Columbia 2 weeks ago. But not just winning that event, winning triumphantly. And they have comfortably topped the season's best scores, both in the rhythm dance, the free dance, and overall. In what is a really strong field in senior ice dance this year. There, an absolute highlight part of their non-touch midline step sequence. The rules allow teams to touch the ice within that element, and they don't just touch the ice, they roll about on the ice, demonstrating such body control.
Skaters, 1 minute remaining in the warm-up.
So Marjorie Lajoie and Zachary Laga find themselves 7th in the Grand Prix standings at this stage, based on the silver medal that they achieved on their first stop with the Grand Prix. And it will be the top 6 teams that return to China for the Grand Prix final. That will take place 7th to 10th of December. As Kazakova and Arevia offer one another support. Just before the event started, we had some scenes backstage, a warm-up, and Maria looked so calm and comfortable, embracing the attention from the camera. The ice dancers, as a generalization, tend to be certainly the most extroverted when it comes to performance.
Our next skaters represent
And as 8 skaters leave the ice, chance now to see Kazakova and Revia. Maria said she loves the music by Queen, and it has been a dream for her to skate to this music. They've had a personal best this season already with this choreography. We'll be looking to improve on that in their first Grand Prix assignment this year.
It's a kind of magic. It's a kind of magic. A kind of magic. One dream, one soul, one prize, one golden glance of what should be.
Biggest pattern and ice carvers that we've seen so far in the choreo rhythm sequence. Couples don't need to stick to the timing of the original Silver Samba. They can deviate from that. This couple doing just that. Georgian ice dance champions Maria Kazakova and Georgi Revia. They lay down their rhythm dance. Just see, maybe just notice there, top left-hand corner of the screen, the final element, the midline step, level 2, assigned to both members of the team. That lower than that which we've seen from the top 2 teams from America so far after the first group. So we'll await the input from the judges on the program component scores as to whether or not that could affect them adversely. That said, their personal best and the season's best that they've achieved already is lower than that of those teams that have already competed. So we get to see as Yuris Razgalayev supports them here. He's not part of their coaching staff, but great to see the international ice dance community and coaches supporting other teams. Obviously, a long way from their training base in Italy. So we see some slow motion twizzles. They open the rhythm dance for the Georgians. Right forward, outside. Each edge, starting edge of the twizzles must be different. You cannot start with the same edge on the twizzles. Definitely, in terms of culture and essence and feeling of the 80s, costume on point. As we see the curve lift, most of the teams choosing to do a rotation lift or stationary lift. Curve lift for the Georgians. They said that they've worked hard on changing their lifts following their Challenger Series events. All of the teams constantly developing and tweaking and sometimes changing the material mid-season to achieve the goals that they have. And as I said, this team 13th at Worlds, 8th at Europeans, and they'll be going up against a team that was one spot above them at that European Championships, one spot behind them at the World Championships. And so not just the scores, but the ranking comparative to others really crucial to the skaters. But hopefully for Maria, who said that she's such a huge fan of Queen that she's thoroughly enjoying performing to it throughout the season, they'll have now listened to this track seemingly endlessly, certainly daily. They tweak and refine the program. So it's a 70.58. You can see the reaction to that off their PB. And Jorge a little more satisfied or understanding of it, but they slot into 3rd place of the 5 teams so far.
From France,
Lucia Demougio and Theo Lemercier. They arrived in Chongqing in China on Tuesday, giving themselves a little more time to try to acclimatize to the time differences. And they will skate to Rapper's Delight.
I said the hip, the hip, to the hip, hip hop, you don't stop the rocket to the bang bang. When you say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Everybody go hotel, holiday.
Such good rotational speed within the opening twizzles.
You don't dare stop or come alive, yo. Give me what you got.
difficult holds used within this choreo rhythm sequence. Continued with a connection between hand and head. Just such great musicality. Lucia Di Moggio and Theo Lemercier. Almost like a choreo step within that non-touch midline step to round out their rhythm dance. And real respect for a team and venturing out for music that I don't think anybody else is using, something just a little bit different. As I said at the start, the rhythm dance music choice is that of the 1980s, and such huge scope and range of tracks available for the teams. The only requirement really is that the music for the choreographic rhythm sequence has a set tempo of 100 beats per minute. But other than that, relatively free reign, and great to see this young team, just 21 and 24 years old respectively, choosing something a little bit different. Such good musicality. Just feel like they really live the music. Although Karine Aribert, coach, looks little side eyes in regards to perhaps what took place for them. And as is the case with so many of the teams from Villard de Lans, really good speed within the twizzles, the rotational speed good. Not their most optimal match in terms of the angles. Rotational lift with change of pose, and the way in which Lucia is moving her arms, although we can't see and sense it in the slow motion replay, was just so on point with the music. And this brilliant choreographic rhythm sequence, as I say, has to be at that 100 beats per minute tempo, but the couple can have any contact, any holds are permitted, and I felt they really played with it. And you wonder how much fun was had during the choreography process for that, the part of the non-touch midline steps. And hard to keep fresh choreography that will have been done in the off-season. All of the teams will have done so many run-throughs in training leading to this event. So close within the scores for all of the top four teams now, 70.18. Just 4/10 of a point behind the Georgians, but so far the two American teams from the first group lead the field.
Our next skaters represent Canada. Marjorie Lajoie and Zachary Laga.
And now to Marjorie Lajoie and Zachary Laga. Marjorie turned 23 on Monday. I'm sure spent a lot of that time prepping or traveling to Chongqing in China, and they eager to achieve more points and potentially secure a spot at the Grand Prix final following their silver at Skate America 3 weeks ago.
darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood.
A little more conventional in the choreo rhythm sequence with the silver samba steps. Such good skating skill within it. Marjorie Lajoie and Zachary Legat. Pascal Dennis, one of their coaches, applauds ringside, and we've seen 5 teams compete already, and all seemingly skating comfortably and well. And you, in the ice dance competition, with the obvious glaring errors that you might see in the other disciplines, it's hard to perhaps differentiate or see where the teams will be separated. But Marjorie and Zachary, with that performance, just showcasing immediately from the offset much stronger skating skills and composition and presentation, just so sharp and so on point. And Zachary, he said he approached the coaches with the Michael Jackson idea because he's such a huge fan and always wanted to skate to his music. He said the coaches initially perhaps a little skeptical about it, but now, of course, fans of it, no doubt. Interesting to hear the analysis of the teams. How committed and invested. And easier in some regard if you're choosing Michael Jackson to showcase the feeling and essence of the 80s, because it is so iconic and so recognized by so many. So the judges, I'm sure, will be more akin to having a connection with what to expect from this theme than perhaps what we saw from the Mojo and Le Mercier, who have already performed something less iconic. But there's no doubt that Marjorie and Zachary have obviously studied intensely and intently what Michael Jackson did. You can see the attention to detail within their fingertips even. So it was 77.8 at Skate America 3 weeks ago for a team that have been together for 12 years. And now just 0.07 of a point off their personal best ever. 82.02. And a hug from Pascal. Maybe a little emotional for the team. How wonderful to see the scenes and the kiss and cry for such an experienced team as we move ahead to the third and final team to represent the United States of America, Caroline Green and Michael Parsons. This second rhythm dance this season. Now hoping that the changes that they've made will pay off when it comes to their score. Skating to music by the Scorpions. First team to use a straight line lift as their choice of feature within their lift. Great overhead shot just to showcase the amount of ice coverage from Caroline and Michael. Caroline Green and Michael Parsons rocking the 1980s. As Coach Greg applauds ringside. And having heard that the team scrapped their original rhythm dance, just gives confirmation of how committed they are to their competitive pursuits and their results. Their original performance, their original choreography to different music wasn't as well received as they'd have hoped when they competed at the Challenger Series event. They were 6th in Bergamo at the Lombardia Trophy. Skate America showcased improvements, 4th just off the podium in Texas. And now how close will they be to those above them as Caroline sees something I suspect thrown on for the team. They said they were their first alternates for the US Olympic team for the Beijing Games last year, and that was a motivation to set them up for this Olympic cycle. And last year they had some fantastic results, 6th place at Worlds in Saitama, Japan. And obviously the disappointment at not making the Beijing Olympics fueling them to make this next Olympic cycle successful. And I'm sure the results in the Challenger Series earlier this year will have been frustrating as they're derailed from that. But they're keen to get back on track. Straight line lift, as I said, others have used the rotational lift. Caroline and Michael using the straight line lift, and like others before them, utilizing hydroglide tight movement within the transitional content to push the composition score. And originally it looked like the midline step for this team. It's given a level 4, so that indication that the technical panel in Chongqing, China, really respecting and recognizing clean edge work on the difficult turns for Caroline and Michael. Both skaters previously so successful with their former partners. And fascinatingly, Caroline's brother, her initial partner, was substituted during COVID when they couldn't train together. He was brought back to train with Caroline, and I'm sure the whole family is so supportive. Greg just saying a little bit better than in practice, so good to hear that from the 9:30 a.m. practice this morning, improvements have been made for the competition for Caroline and Michael. So 75 points at Skate America. A little higher, 76. You can still see the reactions to that. Not necessarily what they're hoping for, but accepting of it. And now Caroline and Michael move above the two Americans, which did so well from the first group to be the leading American team in Chongqing, China.
Our final skaters represent Canada.
As we look now to
Piper Gillis.
the final team. Piper Gillis, Paul Poirier, two-time world bronze medalists. But so many excited, inspired and enthused by the performances that they showcased 2 weeks ago in Vancouver, British Columbia. And now, arguably, at this stage in the season at least, potential favourites for taking the title of the World Championships in Montreal. Piper Gillis, Paul Poirier. This is the highlight move. Such brilliant choreo within the non-touch midline. Just real demonstration of body control and body awareness. That's an important aspect of the skating skills too. A bit of a nightmare for Piper on the second twizzle. Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier, second time out with this rhythm dance, and what a brilliant piece it is. But there'll be no doubting that all that's going through Piper Gillis' mind right now will be, I think it's a right forward outside our second twizzle. And it's a shame that that one step can submar a little bit of the feeling for a team who were just so brilliant in Vancouver. That said, if we remove that element, this program, what I'm so conscious of is the multi-dimensional movement, the use of body movement throughout, not just through the elements, but just constantly pushing themselves to highs and lows, taking their body off their main body core. And that's something that the judges recognize when it comes to the composition. One of the criteria is multi-dimensional movements and use of space. And that just so evident to me in that piece as Eurus gives them a hug. After Skate Canada, they stayed in Vancouver, didn't return to Scarborough, their training base, given the limited time before coming out to China. But they stayed in touch via video call with their coaches, Tara Lane, John Lane and Eurostress Goliath, all of whom have such a great connection. Carl was explaining that the rhythm dance seeks to create a dance club atmosphere, which is what Carl remembers from the 80s. So he's taking some of that. Can't have more multi-dimensional movement when you lay flat on the ice and control your body within, but here, chance to see. And the twizzles, ever so slightly out of sync even on the first, and there she spins that rotation, spins the second rotation. So, it's going to be interesting to see what level will be assigned by the tech panel on that element. So the base value for the twizzles below. You sense though, as important as it is for Piper and Paul to be competitively successful, all of the health challenges that they've had, the challenges they've had in the career that we've enjoyed for such a long time now, I'm sure they recognize that there's so much more to skating than just a score. So 81.04, and they appreciate and understand the fact that that will find them behind Lajoie and Lagat. Confirmation of the importance of clean skates. Piper just saying she figured. And that brings to a close the ice dance competition. And Lajoie and Lagat from Canada will be delighted to see themselves on top of the standings. The heavy favourites, Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier, struggling a little. And there, the standings a little lower down. Proximity of scores between the Georgians and the French. And hopefully lots of experience gained for the Chinese teams competing at this, the Cup of China 2023 in Chongqing. What an incredible arena that it is. Following conclusion of this, the rhythm dance event, we look forward to the second event, which is the women's short program with Luna Hendricks, the winner at Skate America, eager to take another title on the Grand Prix Series this year. And the women's short program scheduled to start just after 5:10 local time. The Zamboni takes to the ice to ensure it is the very best quality for the women. You may see some of the mascots in the venue entertaining the audiences at the Cup of China. And following the women's competition, many in the world of skating so eager and keen to see Shoma Uno, the two-time world champion in the men's event. That will be the third of the 4 disciplines competed in this incredible arena, the Hoaxi Sports and Culture Center. Shoma Uno goes up against Adam Xiao Himfa, who was just brilliant at the Grand Prix de France Angers last week. Wonder how he will match up against the world champion, especially given the very short turnaround that he has had in preparation for this competition, given the time commitment to travel to China. And many of the skaters acknowledging how wonderful it is to be here, what an incredible hotel the official hotel is, what a phenomenal facility, but also no doubt that the travel time taken to get here and the consequential jet lag does have an impact on how they feel in advance of the event itself. Perhaps that'll be something that'll be a little bit more evident as we look towards the singles and pairs competition. Certainly, Piper Gillis may have felt that one of the contributing factors to her less than perfect optimal skate today in the rhythm dance, and the reason that she and will find themselves in second place after the first phase of the competition. But for now, we congratulate all of the 9 teams in the rhythm dance, and we look forward to the women's short program, which takes place in 20 minutes time. Make sure to join us for that.